Most men think pain comes from heartbreak. But what if the real cause is something hidden inside their own minds? Freud found things about female psychology that shocked even him. He saw strange patterns that many men still don't see today. These patterns control feelings, choices, and relationships. They stay buried, waiting for the right moment to strike. And when they do, they destroy love, trust, and peace. The worst part? Most men never see it coming. This isn't about women turning against men. It's about what's already inside, shaping everything, without them even knowing, and it's costing them everything. She says she wants something real. She tells him she's tired of games. She promises she's not like the others. She talks about honesty, loyalty, and building something strong. At first, it feels different. She listens. She opens up. She mirrors his values. He starts to believe her. He lowers his guard. He thinks maybe, finally, this one is true. The connection feels strong, even rare. It seems like she's all in. She makes him feel safe. And that safety makes him begin to trust. Then he starts to invest, not just time, but his heart. He gives her his full attention. He brings consistency. He shares his thoughts, his worries, the things he doesn't show anyone. He's not playing a part. He's being real. He gives her loyalty, not just in words, but in actions. He stops talking to other women. He plans his day around her. He thinks about the future with her in it. Every message, every call, every late-night talk makes it feel more real. And the more he gives, the more it seems like she's responding. She laughs at his jokes. She calls him when she's upset. She says she feels safe with him. She tells him she's never met someone like him. It feels right. But then something changes. At first, it's small. She takes longer to reply. She cancels a call. She seems distracted. He tries not to think too much. Maybe she's busy. Maybe she's tired. But soon, the warmth fades. The smiles in her messages disappear. The calls feel rushed. The replies feel cold. There's no fight, no argument, just space, growing larger each day. He tries to check in. He asks if something's wrong. She says, "I'm just tired," or "It's nothing." But it is something. She's pulling away, and he feels it. The space becomes silence. She stops replying altogether. No goodbye, no reason, just gone, ghosted. He stares at his phone, hoping it's a mistake. Maybe her phone broke. Maybe something happened. But days turn into weeks. There's no message, no answer, only silence. He replays every word, every moment. What did he miss? What did he do wrong? And this is where the damage happens. He thought she wanted loyalty. He gave it, fully. She said she was different. He believed it. Now he feels broken. The thing he gave most, his honesty, his heart, is what got left behind. And it hurts worse than any fight ever could. Because there's no closure, no reason, just confusion. And this isn't just one story. It happens again and again, men giving everything, thinking it's safe. Women asking for loyalty, then leaving. The pattern repeats, and each time, the man trusts a little less, but still doesn't see what's really happening beneath the surface. Most people think they know why they do things. They believe they make choices based on clear thoughts and real feelings. But Freud said something very different. He said most of what we do comes from a hidden part of the mind. This part is called the unconscious. It holds our fears, our pain, our early memories, and things we don't even know we feel. And it controls more than we want to admit. Freud believed that about 90% of our actions come from this hidden place, not from what we think or say on the surface. This is even more true when it comes to women. Their unconscious is not weaker, it's often stronger, not by choice, but by design. From a young age, many girls learn to hide certain feelings. They are taught to smile, to be nice, to say the right things. But inside, Other feelings grow: fear of rejection, need for attention, old wounds from childhood. These things don't go away, they just sink deeper. And from down there, they start to control how she acts. So when she says she wants love and loyalty, she might believe it. But that's her conscious mind speaking. That's the part she sees, the part she understands. The unconscious mind is different. It doesn't care what sounds good. It only reacts. It reacts to pain, fear, and early emotional patterns. If love starts to feel unsafe, if loyalty feels boring, if closeness triggers old fear, her unconscious starts pushing her away from it. She doesn't always know why. She just starts to feel different, colder, less sure. She says, something feels off, but she can't explain it. That's not a choice. It's a reaction. She lies, but not always to hurt you. She lies to herself first. She says, I'm ready for something real, and she means it, at that moment. But something hidden inside her doesn't agree, so the words don't match the actions. She says you're what she wants, but then she pulls away. She says you're different, but treats you the same. That's not logic. That's the unconscious pulling the strings. And here's the hardest part. This isn't rare. It happens more often than people think, because most people are not aware of their own hidden drives. Most women don't wake up thinking, I'm going to ghost someone today. But something deeper, something they don't see, starts the process without them even knowing. The patterns are old. They go back to childhood, back to the first time she felt pain or fear or rejection. Those feelings don't disappear. They stay buried, but still alive, still working, still shaping her choices. So the man hears one thing, but experiences another. He trusts her words, but gets hurt by her actions. He thinks it was about him, but it wasn't. It started long before he showed up. Most men think women's moods and actions are only based on thoughts or feelings. But there's something else happening in the background, something she can't fully control. Her body is always going through changes. Every month her hormones rise and fall. These shifts are not random. They affect how she feels, how she sees you, and how she acts, even if she doesn't know it's happening. During ovulation, which is the middle of her cycle, her body prepares for possible pregnancy. Her hormones rise. She may feel more energy, more confidence, and more attraction towards certain types of men. This is often when she's more open, more playful, and more interested in connection. She may flirt more without even thinking about it. She feels alive and warm, and everything seems exciting. You may notice she texts more, smiles more, or wants to be close. It feels real because, in that moment, it is. But this doesn't last. As her cycle moves toward menstruation, the hormones start to drop. Her energy fades. Her mood may shift. The same things that made her laugh a few days ago might now annoy her. She may become more distant. She may seem cold, irritable, or quiet. You didn't do anything wrong. It's not about something you said. It's her body pulling her in a different direction. She may not even understand why her feelings changed. It can feel confusing, for her and for you. This is not something she chooses. It's not personal. It's biology. Her brain and body are responding to chemical changes that go back thousands of years. These patterns helped human beings survive. They are old, automatic, and powerful. The problem is that today, people don't talk about them. So when a man feels her pulling away, he thinks she's losing interest or playing games. But often, her body is just going through its cycle. She doesn't mean to switch signals. But one week she feels close, and the next week she feels closed. One day she wants to hear your voice, and the next she wants space. It's not because she stopped caring, it's because her body chemistry is not the same. Most women are not even fully aware of how strong this influence is. They feel their moods change, but don't always connect it to their biology. This is where things get painful. A man who gives steady love may get cold silence in return. Not because she planned it, but because her body is in a different state. This makes relationships feel unstable. She says she wants someone solid, but her body responds to something else. The shifts aren't fake. They're just driven by something older than thought. Hormones, cycles, patterns that don't care about logic. And when these shifts repeat, the man is left wondering what changed. He looks for answers in her words, but the real reason isn't always in her mind. It's in her biology. Most men don't realize it, but their first lesson in love came from their mother. Before they could speak, before they could think clearly, they were learning. Not from words, but from feelings. From her tone, her touch, her attention, or her lack of it. That early bond shaped how they understand love now. It taught them what to expect, what to fear, and what to chase. And this pattern follows them into adult life, without them even knowing. If his mother gave love only when he pleased her, he learned to earn love by pleasing. If she was cold or distant, he learned to chase warmth. If she gave mixed signals, he learned that love is confusing, but worth fighting for. This is not about blaming her. It's about seeing how that first emotional training never really ended. It simply changed faces. Now, instead of seeking the mother's approval, he seeks it from women who trigger the same feelings. He might meet a woman who reminds him of that same emotional push and pull. She gives him just enough to keep him close, but not enough to make him feel safe. And something in him wants to win her over, not just because of her, but because it feels familiar. It feels like love because it matches the old pattern. This is what Freud called the mother complex. It's when a man repeats his early emotional story, hoping this time it will end differently. But it never really does, because the same pattern brings the same pain. He accepts mood swings, emotional coldness, or even manipulation, not because he enjoys it, but because he thinks that's what love feels like. He thinks if he just does more, proves more, gives more, she'll finally love him the way he needs. But he's not just chasing her. He's chasing that feeling he never fully got as a child. He's chasing the moment when he'll finally feel enough. This keeps him stuck. It keeps him from seeing clearly. He may ignore red flags. He may stay in toxic relationships. He may keep losing himself just to feel wanted. And all of this happens without him realizing why. He thinks it's about her, but it's about something much older, something that started before he could choose. To become a man, he has to break this bond, not with hate, but with understanding. He has to see that love is not meant to feel like a test. It's not something to earn by suffering. Real love is steady, not painful. But until he sees the pattern, he will keep repeating it. He will keep chasing the mother's shadow in every woman he meets, hoping to finally feel whole. She says she wants a kind man. She says she wants peace, respect, and calm love. And maybe she really believes that. But sometimes, her actions don't match her words. She pushes away the man who gives her peace and runs toward the one who brings chaos, the one who challenges her, the one who doesn't always say yes. This can confuse men. They do what she says she wants, only to be left behind. This is the split between conscious and unconscious desire. On the surface, she wants safety. But deeper inside, something else pulls her, something older, something stronger. Her body reacts to different signals than her mind. Her biology doesn't respond to comfort. It reacts to strength, to confidence, to challenge. Not fake aggression, but real power. A steady kind of presence that doesn't bend too easily, that doesn't seek approval, that leads instead of follows. Thousands of years ago, this was how attraction worked. A woman's body looked for the strongest man, not just in muscle, but in spirit. the man who could survive, protect, and lead. That instinct didn't go away. It still lives in the unconscious. It still drives feelings, even if it doesn't match modern ideas. Today, society says all people are equal. That's fine in law and rights. But the body doesn't listen to modern ideas. It listens to what feels strong, what feels dominant. And sometimes, this causes conflict. A woman may believe she wants a soft, gentle partner, but feel drawn to someone who doesn't act that way. She may say one thing, but want another without even knowing it. This isn't about bad or good, it's about honesty. Men get stuck when they only listen to words. They become too soft, too pleasing. They stop leading. They give respect, which is good, but they forget to bring strength. And when that happens, she may lose interest. Not because she wants to, but because her biology starts to pull away. The attraction fades, and she doesn't know why. This is not her fault. It's not his either. It's the result of two parts moving in different directions. Her conscious mind wants peace. Her body craves tension, a kind of emotional challenge, not chaos, but strength that won't fold under pressure. Modern ideas tell women to be in control of everything, but their own instincts sometimes fight back. This creates confusion. She may feel guilty for wanting a certain type of man. She may even shame that part of herself. But the instinct doesn't go away. It waits, it chooses, and in the end, it often wins. So when a man gives only what sounds good and hides his power, he loses her interest. Not because she's dishonest, but because attraction doesn't come from words. It comes from how she feels in his presence, strong, safe. Not because he agrees with everything, but because he doesn't fear her. That's what the body listens to, even if the mind says something else. Most men think love, once strong, will last forever. But for many women, love has an invisible clock. She doesn't set it. She doesn't plan it. But over time, something begins to change. In the beginning, it feels full. She's present, warm, and connected. But then, without warning, something inside her starts to shift. The same love that once felt alive starts to fade. Not because of a mistake, not because of a fight, but because something in her biology tells her to move. This starts early. A woman learns, often without words, that love doesn't always stay. One day her child will grow up and leave. The bond she gives everything to will break, whether she wants it to or not. Her body knows this. It prepares for it. And so, without realizing it, she takes love with urgency. She wants to feel it fully while it lasts. But she also knows, deep inside, it won't last forever. When life becomes too calm, when everything feels too safe, restlessness can rise. She may start to ask questions. Is this all there is? What if I'm missing something? She might not say it out loud. She may still smile, still care, still do the things love requires. But inside, a quiet voice starts asking what else is out there. And that voice grows louder when things become steady, predictable, normal. Biology plays a role here. For thousands of years, women needed to adapt quickly, to survive, to protect, to move when the world changed. That survival instinct still lives in the background. It tells her to stay alert, to never settle for too long, to keep scanning for better chances, better options. This isn't personal, it's automatic. It has nothing to do with whether you were good to her or not. It's just how her body is built. So even if she once felt real love for you, that love can reach an end. She doesn't always see it coming. She doesn't plan to fall out of love. But it happens, slowly at first, then suddenly, and she may not have the words for it. She may say, I don't feel the same, or I just need space. But underneath, it's that old cycle repeating. The one that says, love doesn't stay, that tells her to move on before she gets left behind. This is not about blame, it's about truth. Men give love thinking it will grow stronger with time. But for many women, love burns bright, then cools. It has a life, a peak, and then a fall. She doesn't always know why. She can't always explain it. But when it happens, it feels final, no matter how good things once were. And the hardest part? Most men never saw it coming, because they thought love was forever. But for her, forever often has a silent end, one she feels, but cannot stop. In the beginning, she treats you like you're the one. You feel special, chosen. She looks at you with soft eyes, listens to your words, and gives you attention that feels real. This is the idealization phase. Everything feels easy. She may say you're different from the others. She seems sure of you. During this phase, many men start to open up. They feel safe. They begin to believe the connection is strong and lasting. But something starts to change. Suddenly, she becomes distant. She pulls back for no clear reason. Little arguments begin. She may question your words, test your reactions, or seem irritated over small things. This is not random. This is the testing phase. It's a hidden pattern that shows up when she wants to know what kind of man you really are. Not the one from the good days, but the one under stress. She wants to see if you'll bend, chase, or stay strong. Will you panic? Will you beg? Will you try too hard to fix something that isn't broken? This testing doesn't come from cruelty. It comes from something ancient. In early times, a woman's survival depended on choosing the strongest mate. Not just physically, but emotionally. The one who stayed calm under pressure. The one who didn't break. These tests were never spoken. They were instinctive. And even today, that same instinct lives inside her. She may not know she's doing it, but her body and mind are watching for weakness. If you pass the tests, if you stay grounded, don't overreact and hold your frame, she may return. The bond may grow. But if you fold, if you beg, if you become emotional and chase too hard, she may move to the next stage. This final stage is the discard phase. She may say things like, "You're too good for me," or "I don't know what I want anymore." It may sound gentle, but it means she's done. She cuts off contact. She walks away with no clear reason. You're left confused, wondering what happened. You replay the good moments, trying to find the mistake. But often, it wasn't about one moment. It was the whole pattern. A test you didn't see and a reaction that made her lose trust in your strength. This cycle is painful because it feels so real at first. The connection, the attention, the laughter, it all seems true. And it was, during the idealization phase. But that was only part of the story. The real test was hidden inside the pullback, the silence, the fights. And if you don't understand what's happening, it feels unfair. You gave love and got distance. You stayed loyal and got silence. But what you were really facing wasn't her words. It was her instinct, one that's been passed down for thousands of years, one that still asks, quietly and without words, "Will this man break?" Every woman carries two sides inside her. One is soft, kind, and calm. This is the version most people see. She's polite, helpful, loving. She says the right things, does what's expected, and shows care. This is her public self, the part she controls. It's the side you meet first, the side that makes you feel safe and wanted. But there is another side, a side she doesn't often talk about, a side she may not fully understand herself. This second side is her shadow. It's emotional, wild, and unpredictable. It's the part that reacts without warning, that feels deeply, but hides it. This side holds her hidden thoughts, her secret wants, her private fears. She keeps it buried, even from herself. Not because she's lying, but because the shadow doesn't speak with words. It moves through feelings, instincts, and sudden choices. Sometimes it rises when she feels trapped or bored. Sometimes it wakes up when everything feels too stable. Most men fall in love with the first version. They feel close to her sweet nature. They think they know her, but they don't see what's underneath. That second woman watches everything, quiet, silent, but always there. And when the moment comes, she may take control. She may make choices that shock even her. She may pull away, break things off, or go after something completely opposite of what she once wanted. She might say, "I don't know why I'm doing this." And that's the truth. Because the shadow acts without logic. It moves through emotion. It doesn't care about promises or plans. It only follows the hidden pull inside. And when it takes over, the kind, calm version steps back. The man is left confused. "What happened?" he asks. "She loved me." And she did. But only one part of her did. The other part, the hidden one, was never fully sure. It was waiting, watching, measuring. And when it no longer felt excited or alive or tested, it began to speak. Not with words, but through silence, distance, or sudden change. This is hard for men to accept. They think love is stable, that once it's there, it stays. But with her, two minds are always at work. The surface and the shadow. The one you hold and the one that disappears. To connect with her fully, a man must know both sides exist. He must not fear the hidden part. He must stay strong even when it shows its face, not by controlling her, but by not losing himself. Because the shadow side does not want a man who chases. It watches to see if he stays grounded, even when she's not. And if he breaks, if he becomes weak or lost, she pulls away. Not always to hurt him, but because the hidden part never chose him in the first place. Only the soft version did. And that wasn't the whole woman. Some women keep going back to the same kind of man. Not the calm one, not the kind one, but the one who brings chaos, the one who plays games, disappears, and creates drama. It doesn't make sense at first. She says she wants peace, yet she stays where there's tension. She says she wants love, but she runs to danger. This isn't just about choice, it's about addiction, an addiction to emotional chaos. Her brain reacts to these unstable relationships in a powerful way. When things are unpredictable, when one day is full of attention and the next day is cold, her brain releases dopamine. That's the chemical that creates pleasure. It lights up the same way it does in gambling. You never know when the next reward will come, so you chase it. You keep hoping. You wait for the good moment to return. That waiting becomes addictive. But that's not the only chemical at work. There's also cortisol. That's the stress hormone. It rises during fights, silence, and emotional pain. And over time, her body gets used to that stress. It becomes the new normal. Then, when she finally gets a little warmth, a text, a smile, a small show of care, her brain releases oxytocin. That's the bonding chemical. It makes her feel close, even if the connection is brief. So she stays. Not because it's good, but because the cycle is strong. Highs and lows create a trap that feels like passion. Safe men don't create this cycle. They don't cause stress. They don't make her chase or wonder. So her brain doesn't get the same hit. It feels flat, boring. Even if the man is good to her, her body doesn't light up the same way. She may say, "He's too nice," or "There's no spark." What she really means is, there's no chaos, no chemical storm, no thrill. And without that, she can't feel the same pull. This is where the dark triad traits come in: narcissism, manipulation, and even coldness. These traits, though harmful, send a signal of control, danger, and power. Long ago, in ancient times, these were signs of a strong mate, someone who could take what he wanted, someone who didn't ask for approval. That kind of man was seen as a survivor. And even now, those old instincts still shape what some women feel drawn to. It doesn't mean she wants to be hurt, but the way her brain responds to emotional chaos makes it hard to walk away. She may say she's done, but then she goes back. Not because she's weak, but because the chemistry pulls her in. It makes the pain feel meaningful. It makes the highs feel magical, and anything calm or stable feels empty by comparison. So the question isn't why she chooses the toxic man. It's why her body rewards her for doing it. The answer is hidden in her biology, and sometimes not even she can explain it. True power doesn't begin when you control others. It begins when you understand what's really going on, inside her and inside you. When you stop looking only at what she says and start seeing what drives her. When you notice her shifts, her tests, her moods, not with confusion, but with calm. That moment, when you stop reacting and start seeing clearly, is the moment you take back your power. You're not here to blame her, and you're not here to blame yourself. You're here to see. Because once you see, you can't unsee. You notice the patterns. You spot the cycle. You understand when something is about her wounds, not your worth. You realize that many of the things that hurt you had nothing to do with who you are, and everything to do with what she was running from inside herself. And that's where it all shifts. The man who sees through the mask, of her soft smile and sudden silence, of her warm words and cold actions, becomes the man who no longer gets pulled by the storm. He doesn't beg for love. He doesn't chase peace. He stands still while the waves crash, and something changes in her too. Because nothing challenges the emotional chaos more than a man who doesn't get swallowed by it. Seeing her clearly means seeing yourself clearly. Why you stayed. Why you gave too much. Why her withdrawal felt like a wound. These things don't make you weak. They make you human. But you're not meant to stay in that place. You're meant to wake up from it. You were taught that love is always pure, that it means giving all you have. But now you understand that not all love is equal. Some love feeds your strength. Some love feeds your confusion. And the power is in knowing the difference. The moment you saw the truth in this, even a small part of it, something shifted. That's not just information. That's awareness. And awareness is the start of everything. If this spoke to something inside you, if you felt it in your gut more than your head, then leave a comment that says unconscious. Because the moment you can name what's been hidden, it stops controlling you. No one can promise you full control over others, but you can learn to master your own response. You can stop falling for the same pattern again and again. You can stop giving your power away to what feels good but never lasts. This is your turning point. Not loud, not dramatic, but clear. The more you understand, the less you chase, the less you explain, the less you doubt yourself. She may still shift, she may still test, but you'll see it now, and that changes everything.